What's going on, guys? Cameron back again from Attack on Anime, here to bring you episode 14 review for the Asterisk War Season 2. And this episode was a really good setup episode. It's setting up for a lot of what's gonna go down in the second season, because Ayato is on the search for his sister. Even though last episode he kind of said he didn't really care what happened to her, I figured that was all BS, because I'm just like, okay, dude, no, there's no way that you're just gonna like let your sister's mystery just leave up in the air like that. So he tries to get in contact with Dirk, who is the student council president of Lay Wolf Academy, and he's just like, alright, dude, I need to get in contact with him. So he calls Irene, and Irene warns him that Dirk has multiple people in his grasp that are pretty dangerous. So he's just like, getting involved with Dirk isn't really good, because he always asks for something in return. Like, he won't do any favors for you unless he's getting something of equal value in return. So when Dirk finally contacts Ayato, he's just like, your sister was in something called an Eclipse Festa. And once I heard Eclipse Festa, I was just like, okay, she was just in a festa, what's the big deal? But then they go into it that this is not like an official festa. It's like an illegal like fight club, essentially. And his sister, the only time Dirk has seen his sister was the one time where he saw her competing in it and she lost. It was the scene we saw from the very first episode of the first season, and when she fell on the floor and she was bleeding out, and I was just like, whoa. But he says she's not dead, so I'm just like, okay, that's good. Ayato's sister is still out there somewhere. But it leads into the mystery of why was she there in the first place? Like, what was her reasoning? She didn't seem like the type of person that would like be in such a like bad area, like where obviously she didn't belong. But also in this episode we meet Flora, who is from the orphanage that Euless is trying to save by winning the festa and sending them money. And Flora is so cute. Like, she's a really cool character, because she's so inspired by Euless and how much Euless is doing. Because since Euless is a princess, obviously she doesn't have to do anything for poor people. Like, she doesn't have to step up for them as much as she does. She even sends them money, like, while she hasn't even won the festa yet. She sends them money all the time. And she's just like, oh, it's just extra money I get for being a page one. But you can tell that there's something more to it. She definitely cares about them. She has a big heart, and Flora is sent there, and there's funny situations where she's asking questions that Euless' brother wants to know about Ayato, and just crazy funny things like that. I definitely think Ayato's roommate, Yabuki, is like low-key on dirt. Like, I don't trust him entirely, especially after the first season when we see him appear in the alleyway talking to Claudia. Like, there's just so much, and he hasn't been at their room for a couple days, and I'm just like, okay, there's just too much. And even by the end, Euless is wondering, how did Dirk know where her, Ayato, and Flora were all eating at to come find them? So I think either the intel agency that Irene mentioned earlier is watching him, or Yabuki is leaking information about them. Because Yabuki is the one who recommended the restaurant anyway to them, so I'm just like, okay, either he told them where he is, or Dirk's intel agency is on him, because that cat definitely was watching Ayato in the episode. So I definitely think that's going to play a role in how he's getting all this intel on them. And Dirk, by the end of it, is very interested in Flora, because I feel like he's going to take her and try to blackmail them into either losing the tournament or whatever he's going to do with them. But as soon as his secretary mentioned Flora, his eyes lit up, he smiled, he was just like, tell me more about this girl. Like, he's definitely planning something dirty, and I'm not ready for it. Like, I don't want to see Flora get hurt in all this, but like I said in the series review on the first season, this competition brings out the worst in people, and Dirk is a person who will win by any means necessary. Whatever he has planned, you know it's bad news, and it's all trouble. And lastly in this episode, we figure out what a Taoist is, which are the Lee twins. That's like their fighting style, and essentially what it is when people use their power, like, say for instance Euless is using her fire power, there's a certain point in the casting of her spells or using her moves where your stability is thrown off, and that's when they attack. So figuring that out is going to play key in how they're going to fight them. I don't know if they're fighting next episode or the episode after, but I can't wait to see that, because I just feel like their strategy at that point has to be tenfold. It's not going to be like some simple switcheroo like they did against their last opponents, which wasn't even simple because their opponents were like top tier fighters. So it's just like going against these twins who will take advantage of you using your power, and especially with Ayato having his disadvantage that he can only use his Ogre Lux for about 5 minutes. They're going to take complete advantage of that, especially since everybody knows that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you think is going to happen next episode. What do you think Dirk's plan is with Flora? Do you think he's going to kidnap her? Do you think he's going to threaten her to blackmail Euless and maybe get her to try to throw the whole Festa? What do you guys think is Ayato's sister up to? What do you think is up with all that? But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, guys, peace.